Hey everyone, I came across an article last week which talked about a lawsuit that Bitmain has, and I'm not sure if I've got the name right. It's Gevorkian, I've got it in the tablet there, versus Bitmain Inc. Bitmain Technologies Limited. A lawsuit was filed in the Northern District of California against Bitmain on November 19th, 2018. It's backwards for us here in the UK. In a brief summary, the plaintiff alleged that Bitmain marketed and sold ASIC miners that were pre-configured to use the customer's electricity to generate crypto on Bitmain's own benefit. So what they're saying is that they've sold an ASIC mining machine which was pre-configured to mine for Bitmain and not the customer. The plaintiff bought his ASIC in January 2018. It was hard to configure and it came pre-configured to operate in full power mode, at which time it mined for the benefit of Bitmain, using the plaintiff's electricity. The complaint alleges that there are over 100 class members and the amount in controversy exceeds $5 million. So this is it's a big lawsuit, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that thinks, that any lawsuit against Bitmain is a good thing because they see Bitmain as the enemy. The plaintiff's first count is that Bitmain used unfair competition, which was unlawful, fraudulent, deceptive, untrue, or misleading. Okay, the second count is for unjust enrichment, stating that Bitmain received a benefit at the expense of the plaintiff. The third count is for conversion, stating that Bitmain converted the use of plaintiffs and class members' ASIC devices and requests disgorgement. I'll leave a link to the article, as always. I'll leave a link to the article. You guys can check this out in full and give me, read it all and digest it and give me your opinion on it. My thoughts on it are, it's one of those things. It is quite an unfair practice when you think about it. On a grand scale, Bitmain are actually making quite a lot of money from this. Really, what they should be doing, what Bitmain should be doing, is selling an ASIC miner that is not configured for any mining address, and then when you plug it on, there's a user manual and there's something that takes you to a page that says enter your details here, and then they simplify the mining process, and then it mines to your Bitcoin address or whatever it is you're mining. But what they've done instead is set up their ASIC miner to be pre-configured to their address. Now, it's not surprising that this is the case. This is actually quite common in a lot of software and a lot of hardware, where until you configure it, it will mine for the for the person that sold you the product. I've seen it a lot myself in the WordPress world, where someone sells you a WordPress plugin or something, and they'll say you have to enter your affiliate URL or your reference code or something like that in this field. But if you don't do that, it's pre-configured to their affiliate code, their referral code. But I think in this situation, I think the lawsuit is actually quite just, in that, when you first read that, it kind of sounds like a mountain out of a molehill. It doesn't sound like it's that serious, but essentially on a small scale, what it means is until you've configured your ASIC device, you will be mining to a Bitcoin mining address. But on a large scale, Bitmain have obviously made a huge amount of money from that. So on an individual basis, person to person, it's perhaps not a huge amount, but across everyone who's bought a Bitmain device is quite significant. But really it comes down to the fact that these devices shouldn't be mining to their addresses at all. It shouldn't be pre-configured. It should be, it should lead you to some sort of screen saying, listen, when you configure it, or when you're mining it, you should be able to switch it on unless you've entered your mining details. And it should be stressed that you have to actually enter your details. You have to configure everything before turning it on. But I realise that Bitmain's devices, their ASIC machines, they're not the most user-friendly, and essentially just a couple of motherboards stuck together with some fans and a power supply. But yeah, it's one of those things. I don't think that this is it's not like Bitmain have did anything super evil, because I do acknowledge the fact that this is actually quite common in the software world, as far as pre-configuring something with your address or ID or referral code. But I also think that when you are using someone else's electricity, yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair. So I'll leave a link to the article. Give me your thoughts on it, guys. Bitmain is such a big company that it won't surprise me if they've got like 10 or 15 different lawsuits going on at the moment. But let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment below and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Cheers, guys.